Alright, it is exactly 2 weeks or 14 days to the Anambra State local government elections. What are the preparations so far? What are the issues around it? These are the questions we'll be asking this morning on the program.
And you also know that it is our duty to educate you concerning the elections. Make sure you understand what to expect and what to do and what not to do. Very important. What not to do is very important. And then what to do, we have to find out today. So we have, we actually have experts. I like to call them experts because when we bring certain issues to the table, we would like to talk to authorities. And today we have authorities from the Anambra State ANSEC.
Yes, that is the Anambra State Independent Electoral Commission, ANSEC. They are the body that will be conducting that election. In fact, since the date of the election was announced, people have been calling me on phone to ask me, what does the election imply? Why is it ANSEC conducting the election
Why not INEC?
instead of INEC? So these are some of the questions that I'll be answering this morning. So we want to look at, we have with us this morning Sir Anthony Nnalue. He is the Commissioner in charge of Information and Publicity of ANSEC. Good morning and welcome to ABS Studio.
Thank you very much.
All right. And we also have with us this morning the Commissioner in charge of Logistics and Operations of ANSEC, Mrs. Helen Ume. Good morning and welcome to the studio.
Good morning.
All right, the question that let me even start from that word someone asked me, from that basic question. Why is it ANSEC conducting this election and not INEC?
Thank you.
All right.
Very interesting question. The act, the INEC, or rather, let me put it this way, the electoral law stipulates very clearly that local government elections are the prerogatives of the states under the State Electoral Commission.
Okay.
So, by that statement, it boils down on the State Independent Electoral Commission. In Anambra, you call it ANSEC.
Okay.
In other in Enugu, we call it ESEC. But you call it EPSEC. So, it is that state commission that is now responsible for local government and council elections. Thank you.
All right, sorry. I hope we all understand and speak Igbo.
Yes.
Okay, beautiful. Because this conversation is a conversation that we need to mix it up a little so we can get to he who understands English and he who doesn't. Because this election is something of the grassroots.
Exactly.
So ngacho emagata kwa tatu ake. Ina so ndị banyị na-akpịa ngili Igbo. Egwa ya agwa ka ọ ga-abụ onye na-anụ aghọta, onye na-ada anụ aghọta. So, but I would like to look at the difference because just the same way people have been calling him, people have been calling me. Abiaju biko election ọ ga-adịkwa ka nke a na-adị eme bụ nke ọ bụ Honda INEC. Imago ọ ga-abụkwa ịpụta ịbịa ma accreditation, ịpụtakwa ịbịa ka ọ no nwere ihe gbasara anyị. So I want to understand what's the process like, ma? What's the process like? Imago asị na taa bụ election. Onwe ihe gbasara ndị nọ n'ụlọ voters ka ọ nọọsọ ọsọ ndị pati ka ọ gbasta ka onwe ka a ga-esi just kpọkụnata ndị akpọkụnata ịmago ka ọ ka bụkwa ofu ihe ahụ ndị mmadụ na-adịkwa aga afọ onye nchọ ka ịkọwara anyị. Just mix it up a little.
Still the same process. Election is a process. Whether being conducted by INEC or ANSEC, still the same process. The only difference is that the Federal Council of Nigeria marked out that local government elections should be conducted by state independent electoral commissions. That is what gave rise to our being responsible. ANSEC in Anambra State was commissioned in 2001. So, oburu ihe bido taa. Maka na ụfọdụ ndị mmadụ adịbeghị used to INEC and ANSEC. For election now, process the same register, voters register, mayor. Time and age 8 o'clock. You na polling unit. You give ballot, and then after you register. You have to go to the card. You for card again.
Ọkabụkwa ofu kaadị ahụ, ofu kaadị INEC.
Kaadị ahụ INEC. Ihe jikọrọ anyị na INEC bụ ya bụ kaadị and the voters register. Otherwise, ndị ọbụla n'ọrụ onwe ha na-alụ nke ha. Mana ọ the same akwụkwọ, the same process, the same everything, the same ibinye aka, the same open secret. Na ịbịakwa ibie n'iru ya ibie bielu onwe gị ịtụnye n'iru ndị mmadụ.
Okay, let's come back to you. You're in charge of information and publicity. How far so far can you prepare for this election? Can you megasigo to be sure that this election on September 28th? Tell us what ANSEC has been doing in that regard.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you. So far, immediately after our swearing in, the first thing we did was to call a stakeholders meeting across the state, where we invited all the traditional rulers, the clergy, the security agencies, the politicians, and the various political parties. We all converged at the Women Development Center, where we briefed them, where we displayed our timetable and schedule of activities, showing to them what we are about to do. And we pleaded with them to carry the message to the villages. So, after that, we swung into action. We have drawn the timetable and we are following the timetable very rigidly. We've met with the security agencies once, twice, so that they will make adequate preparations to provide security. Because election, security is election. So, we have done that. We've started assembling the electoral materials, both sensitive and non-sensitive materials, preparatory for the election. As a matter of fact, any moment from now, so by next week, we will start distributing non-sensitive materials to the various our various local government offices, so that before the election, everything must have been on ground. So I think we are strictly following the timetable, and I assure you that it's going to be a bundle of success.
I like to look at voter apathy. You know, when you talk about election, it's election, but na apụta atọ. Ọ bụ na mbọsị ahụ unu kwakọcha onwe ha epụta bịa, because that was why I asked, is it the same process of people coming out? So being in charge of publicity, I would like to know how far you are going. Ndị mmadụ ọmakwa maka ihe a. Ihe anyị nkata anyị na-akparị, because on a very election, when you on your television, when you go on radio, when you go online, you keep seeing it. Ịmaga ana akọwalụ ndị mmadụ, na-asị ndị mmadụ pụta bịa tụọ. Ana akọwakwa ndị obodo anyị ọmakwa na onwe election na-akwado ime. Ha ma ihe ha kwesị ime. In terms of publicity, I would like to know how far you've gone.
Thank you. On publicity, we have engaged so many media platforms. We have engaged ABS extensively, both television and radio. We have engaged Odenibo FM. We have engaged Wazobia. We have engaged Sapientia. We have engaged Blaze and so many others, so that our stories and messages will be taken to the hinterlands. So, as it is now, I can assure you that the villagers are already sensitized, waiting for the day. And it is also part of our plan. Now you get a local medium of communication, like across all the 178 communities in Anambra State. So when the time draws near, I got nobody. Each one do over the Potano to here teacher. And I mean INEC, I am use BIFAS. Okay. Because election on cab local election. Onye got to laugh as chairman of local government and the Ghanaian Malone. So onye overlap one year in the mud or to on your child and I forget to Lago. Nkabo go machine. We didn't count na federal national election. Nkabo pure domestic election. So onye bia to atocha ya no leba gonya the mother affair. Because it's a local election. Councillor in a ward. And the guy oblonyo monage. Keke esi whatever. Very difficult. So it's going to be transparent, it's going to be fair, and it's going to be free.
Yes.
So we are taking the messages to the villages. And ya get you leolele. Kwebo. in case ndị a na-egere news ndị a na-agara na platform ka ha nụ na election dị mana ọlụ dị alị ndị obodo ịpụtatụ agwọ otherwise imecha ịkọba onye adịghị eme ọfụma onye adịghị eme ọfụma mana mbọsị atụrụ akwụkwọ ị nọ na be gị ọ bụrụ ị nọ na be gị ifuru ọnụ gị ekwuchitala gị ọnụ gị ka ọ nọbụrụ ya
Commissioner, actually, maybe I be no maka logistics and operations. I come again election for years, and I'm an ogu for the put if I get me lose in a field, don't we get 11, 12. Ọtụtụ ajụjụ ndị mmadụ na-ajụ kedu ka ANSI ga-esi mee this election, especially when it comes to readiness and handling the logistics matters in an election. INEC not continuously in process. It takes them several days, months, and still well lapses. But ANSI just commissioned one recently. I just set up the commission. There is open at the institution itself, but the chairman and the members of the commission were just recently announced. And within 45 days, when they said to go the process of conducting the election rolling already. How can you ensure that the processes and everything I am in at this election because people get yellow on your
Thank you very much. The beauty of election at 8 o'clock, the polls, the polls are open. We have beauty. Ndị na-arụ ọrụ abụrụ ha na-echezi ndị mmadụ bịa onye bụ hotel and all logistics ga-eme ka o nwee that picture.
Yes, exactly.
Since 6th of August, SWLI ka m gwa gị eziokwu otu ara abụghị otu aka nrọ otu ara ọ bụghị otu aka nrọ anya ọ bụ n'onye Igbo sị agwụ m agwụ because eso m bido ANSI ofu oge anyị nwere commission I've been in charge of ANSI for 7 years.
Oh wow.
Ibwa and I made election observations in other states. So also 3 states can make observation in Nigeria. Some states age 2 times, 3 times, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times. As a people, I'm not touching during those times. Second, I'm not going to I rather want to leave because of stress. Yes, mas. Maniheni napu, I make it sure. I capture that beauty. Yeni napu, I make it sure. I capture that beauty. Like what working? Now this week, I need clear single offices here. I need in readiness, electoral material, but non-sensitive. When I need this week, they know local government time, they are the electoral officers and their subordinates arranging. I may say training this week now. Training. I need to go training from our old staff.
Okay.
I am messaging Tana. You know, Arab get up. Tuesday, I get me supervisors, that is supervisory presiding. I arrange here by senatorial zone. Reason, can I sure that now I capture the knowledge very well from the facilitators. Call a email local government by local government now. Oh, we can only jelu njiko ka akuzio o man kuzita ofuma. Onye jela anocha kuzio kuzite. So I say let us centralize it a little bit. Kaide sure na the facilitators I trust to, you know, na I get deliver. Tuesday, Anambra North Senatorial, Ndegalo Supervisory, game training, Nonicha North. Wednesday, Anambra Central, game Noka South. Thursday, Anambra South, game Nanewi North. Then, presiding and polling clerks and others, game Saturday, Sunday, because I get her into classes and groups, and then while standing on Anambra, Mr. Gomno, actual activity name, na school when the children are in session. I will budget Saturday, Sunday. Ka holiday na go akwụkwọ. And may 2 days. MSA the first day, repeat where the second day. And the IG choose schools. But because the presiding officers will be many, 5,720. According to high polling number of polling units. And each polling unit is a presiding officer, right? So I've been a very local moment. I get me the trading. I get kindergarten into different groups and classes. Get when we effectiveness. So we decided to do that training class by class. So, Obona Akuziselo Mark of Man. I must nana the training and I publish here well for ad hoc. Sensitive material by this week, non-sensitive by the following week. Kezi Hejin Kitong. Oh, what I am new. Because every problem the bo na sensitive and like Emma go from Dynamic and I get that na nke wa battle. Eji make postpone election. Nka e bata. Ka anyị ga bata. Ka anyị ga bata. Anyị ga bido non-sensitive this week. The following week, ihe ni na adịchagority. The following week and you bido the sensitive. Once the material say there, we are good to go.
I'm very happy. Maka trainings, the series of trainings, all these people will pass through. Mana one, I would like to know, and I think it's your office. Ke udindunu ge use when me electioner because ana ekwu maka nke INEC na conduct if no onwe to ka di onwe ike iburu onye Onitsha si gi bia na ọka ruo ịghọta nwedi ike iburu di onye Anambra INEC fix egi bia me presiding officer so ịbata ebe ahụ ị na-arụ ọrụ nwodi onye magi mana nke anyị na-ekwu bụ ndị Anambra na conduct election ndị Anambra so m ga-achọ ka mma ma nwanne m nwoke na-abịa iwu presiding officer na ebe nna azọ councilor ward ko omiko oburu onko mo wiki body oburu na onko mu bo nya ga go vote wa on ewepụta nke na agụ ya tu ebe na one so I would like to know then secondly yemen jikwa wesi no mmadu ka na aya bụ ibia na most times ibia na most people na be iru ad hoc na election what they have at the back of their mind is not what you will pay them what they have is what they will make in the field. David, you understand my point? Abia sigi na mbosi ani mbia ha ni no rekpochapu make sure na for ID card ga ya na ndị politician na they will approach you gi na ha ekwuo ego ne so what kind of training could you because I will tell you the truth as journalists that are always on the field we see a lot most times ibato doga ya na ihe a na-ayakwa n'ebe abụrụ ndị na-ebi aka na onye ahụ nọ ebe a na-ebi aka ọ na-arụgo ego so ke ụdị training unu na-enye iji make sure that during that time that your workers and I'm only because sometimes presiding officer might decide achọghọ m iwe ọ bụrụ APO3 afia na weteke gị fa aka mba so ke ụdị ọzụzụ unu na-enye iji make sure na abio mbosi ahụ that at least ka go deep I get one majority of incorruptible officials ndaga asena nda anwe ma ihe ha na-arụ and na onye ama nje n'ime bi onwe ikekwe ibi ọbụna ọnya nwa biye ọbụna irube ha ka etinye polling unit ọbụna ọnya nwa nọ na-ebi aka ebe ahụ ke like what I'm talking about the human factors ga abata now ke ụdị training unu na-enye ndị a and then ke ụdị human resources unu na-use ke ndị a ga-use ruo election and with particular people ke why eji choose ha ke ụdị ọzụzụ unu ga-enye ha
I streamline your qualifications
okay
for each position
azogi that's
and I maintain it no you apply now
okay
anybody Charlie Lolo must apply with your passport
okay
2 passport photographs your CV your certificates so that it will not be onye na-eme salon obia ojoku school onwe ike obia training mana that training may not be enough ka ọtacha so that's why mostly civil servants.
Okay.
Go where commitment in the state. So that woman go me.
Ejekote nwo ya.
Koto nwe. Jido nwe. Nka ofu. Again, ihe manji tokebe oko John na analega na yego. A na-enwe party agent na every polling station.
Okay.
The parties, the political parties now participate. Get with their agents. Everybody's watching. Everybody's watching. Each one is going to where to swear. Ihe mabana. You will not get to swear. Ihe mabana na training again gibo. Abide by the guideline. Abide by the instructions. Make sure you deliver what you were taught. Madam, nchazo ime nke oji bolo madam. Nke abubana the training enyele gibo strictly based on the guideline. Do this. These are the activities, step by step. Do this, do that, do. And remember, the sorting, the counting is done in the presence of party agents and in the presence of everybody. Nke abụrụ nke na abụmekọp bụrụ onye akwa ibom nkọmitie mgbuwa ịkọmitie ama ebisi bịa ndị mmadụ na-ene gị anya. So to my mind, training a ga-enye ha ama mbọnụ training ị ga-asị mmadụ eweta ego gị n'alụ mana training a ga-enye ha bụ everything we are doing is the electoral process with guideline and instructions legally na back here.
And to cut in.
Okay.
To cut in. Election abụghị election ego.
Okay.
Maka na mara na nyere ihe onwere. All of them are on the same level.
Okay.
Nwere onwere kobo ojiko ya. So it's a serious test of capacity.
Okay.
And preparedness to serve the people. So onwere onye ha nwere ego, I'm telling you that. Unless mo ga general loan na bank. Or spend the job no winners. You run away. That's the truth. So we never expect anybody. Besides, in a ego, even a local government, then as well, I'm also going to or colleague got convince him now. I know Mike cannot do well, my local government, and my people are the people that will suffer if he gets in there. What kind of money will you give me? So it applies to all of them.
Okay,
form free.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, the forms are free. The forms are free.
Online, you're free to download there.
I feel it.
Yeah,
Yes.
open nature is all. Fill a form.
It
That's
has
all.
never been-
Without party.
No.
You pass through a party.
Okay, pass through your party.
There's no room for independent candidates.
Okay.
There's not
The constitution doesn't provide
the constitution didn't provide. So, but normally, now, come now for the election now. Chairmanship, if you want to vie, you return to Kasiek 10 million, councillor 5, and so many other states. But here in Anambra, free of charge. So feel free to come out.
All right. I don't try to only for about security. It's in election security, and that is true. And then we're concerns about security situation in Anambra, and so many of us are also worried. Kage made this election or we go to Pesega. I'm aware that like you said, UNEMIT go with security chiefs, and recently the Commissioner of Police presented to ANSEC the security master plan for this election.
Sure.
Give us a little confidence in that direction
about
security and why Anambra not we after that day went to election.
Thank you. Yes, we met with security chiefs, and they reaffirmed. Now they are aware some areas, security challenges. Some part of Ihiala, some part of Obaru, some part of New South. But they assured us that they will contain the situation. As a matter of fact, that day, as we were holding the meeting, they were telling us that it is happening in Mbose, Lilu, Axis, that as they are talking, their men, team, combined armed force, army, police, immigration, civil defense, air force, that they are ready in that area. That before the election, every place will be calm. And if you can listen, you discover that there is calm. relative calm in most of those areas that are troublesome. Yes, so they are not resting. And they give us full assurance that on that day, they will make sure that people will freely move around and cast their votes.
Okay, another follow-up, Majo, I was on Secretary of Political Parties now. How has the response been across political parties? And for a follow-up, because whenever an state election like this, or they call Sunday return, how have you been able to build the confidence of political parties in Abraham and in power to participate in this election?
Beautiful. I na find one meeting ubolo. I na inter-party advisory council and go for meetings. I walonde and I the local government tours across the 21 local governments in the state. Our message is very simple. For the election, regardless of your political affiliation, party solo potania, they will vote you, will declare you winner. Electioner, I will the model. Potan to vote. I go. It will count. That's our promise. So, I have go for local government by local government. Only actually is all pota. Obuga election on that Apuga. Election Apuga party. It's the election for all the political parties who are ready. And I tell you that at least up to 7 political parties fielded candidates. Yes.
Oh, okay. So, please, I'd like the kind of the quarap, even though the conversation has been quite interesting. Like, to say, like, advice. What's your advice on that day? Kika hagi where comport to and Kayendi Hakwesi look out for Marona Nka Mewe Mba or Drozikwa. And then when you see some things in your polling unit, what are you supposed to do? Ima go inegayafuna presiding officer and anarego. More who are you supposed to talk to? I then Anek when down supervisors, I think something like that. So advice in what should they look out for? Where should they channel their complaint? Then advice in the party agents, because those are another set of human beings that are for kind of field. So what's your advice to these sets of people on that election day?
I even have a special advice for physically challenged.
Okay, yes,
very
please,
important.
very
I
important.
hope they will hear me out because I have interaction a week today.
Okay.
To be precise, 21st of September, St. Mark's Catholic Church Abagana. Had the Lanya Ibia Baume na Kahaputa and I gauge Commissioner Wagonye gauge na ito I gauge senior. So, and the modern union upon a bone. I bundi boom. I can yellow one yaka. Naputa kita kato vote. If I get in moke, jimpon. If one need me, actually to vote, man, on a chosen if only police, if only on the other record, them, or got the panel mama, a man jokobia na line. Hapo can one achia. I said because Carapapa called to one like Oba. Carapone, you mukola in Weba. In the Unufunonia, Adafusuzo, Ufonia Yellow Neaka, Ogwage Botcholito, Yeliaka Binema Cofro. In the modern menu of Bonapo, Iabo, Ihaine Melo Wine, or the lion man. Eje Bawa Jema Ayala, he may be saying her name, Wuloba. Okwa ego niile waste etinye ke we mee ya onakwa ni anyị nchasịwa kwa alụghọla anyị ụzọ emeghọla anyị nka so ọ ka mma ka anyị kwado ya ogo ọfụma onye bịa ọkwụrụ na line n'ebe enwelu ebe a na-akwụ n'ahịrị ijide kaadị gị jụkwanụ onye ebe a ka m kwesịrị ịkwụ ụfọdụ nwere ike jekwuru ebe o kwesịrị ịkwụ Pulling unit and we cable 004 upon a one. Up to 1 hour, we chop on over by care. so onye pịa ọjụọ mana anyị ga-elebechi ya na aja ọ dị eprenticha gị ya oge luo a date to the date maka inwe ike mee ya kịta mmiri agbụchapụ ya edebecha ya ka mmadụ ghara iju oke ajụjụ inene kaadị gị oke fọ bụ ebe a eje m na fọ jekwuru so ihe niile arrangement niile adịgo ka mmadụ ya abụọ bịa oke ajụjụ ama ndị aka oke ihe mgbagwoju anya ama ndị aka mana onye nwere mkpesa ma ọ na ụfọdụ ihe na-aga n'ụdị ifụ ọnya ka eji nwee supervisory presiding onye na-enedo ụmụaka ahụ anya a supervisor dey in charge of not less than 10 polling units and not more than 14. A ga-enye ya moto nye onye nche akwana wa ga-ebute material jekesi ụmụaka and ọ ga na-agagharị till election agwụ ọnọkọtakwa oje malụ ka ihe si aga ebe a ọnọkọtakwa oje malụ ka ihe si aga ebe a atụchakwa obukọrọkwa ihe niile anwa buchi ya azụ so onye nwee mkpesa duto na ọ ga na-agagharị intermittently supervisor like ọkwa nke ihe si aga ọ dịkwa oli possible anyị etiecha phone number ha ọ daa nke ya akpọ na ịma nchebi ka ọ bịa akpọ.
Okay, maka oge anyị sanna lue biko nyekwu anyị ndụmọdụ inwe ka anyị wee chịkọta.
Yeah, ndụmọdụ nwere one o nwere ihe anyị na-eme anyị na-akwado by next week anyị ga-conduct workshop for all the candidates.
Okay, that's wonderful.
On zero tolerance for violence and fraud.
Okay, beautiful.
Our mission is to sensitize the candidates on the need to shun violence. Yeah, by election one and one na-eri nne a na-asịrịsị weta ọkụ. Onye meriri onye nke ọzọ asị nwanne congratulations and he joined the chorus. So I ga-emere ha workshop to address the need for them to conduct themselves. Ma ọ bụ tigbo ozugbo ọ bụ do or die. So ndụmọdụ na-enye ndị mmadụ bụ pụtanụ ka anyị tụọ vote. Now this is our time to showcase ourselves and tell the world we are partners in progress.
All right, thank you so much, Sir Anthony Nalwe, Commissioner in charge of Information and Publicity, Anambra State Independent Electoral Commission. And also, thank you, Mrs. Helen Ume, Commissioner in charge of Logistics and Operations. This is where we'll call it a stop in this conversation. My advice will be any further information, you can actually go to the ANSEC website. I'm sure they will have those information there.
Or on ABS News, we always update you with activities coming from ANSEC so that you can be part of the discussion. Like he said, this is a grassroots election. Open in whether right and they get it from Albany. The man or ya kapalo ebozo again with so na you go with the rule na why na asusu beke.